Bro,
Slap one. Alright, man. Very much, man. Welcome to the shop, B. Alright, my name's Reese. This is my boy Junior. Right here. He been rapping for how long, man?
I'd say about 2 years seriously, but I always had like the urge to rap. I just didn't really know how to put words together, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna just lay low for a bit.
So your first mixtape, it was called Conditioning. How was it?
It was, well, people said that they loved it, so I mean, I guess in their mind it was cool, but to me it was just like a bunch of jumbled songs together, and I put it together, and it was like, I mean, it was fun doing it, but I just knew I could make it better. That's why I had to come back with the tryouts and let people know.
Alright, tryouts, man. This is the one that I'm interested in. This is the one that made me a fan. This is the one that I was like, alright, G came hard. You know, I seen rapid progress in your flow. And one thing, talk about tryouts real quick. When did it drop?
Tryout dropped on November 24th, my nephew's birthday. Shout out Kingston, my little homie. It was like, you know, I just felt like I started the year off in February with Conditioning, so I had to end the year off with something better. So I had to get new studio equipment, had to go to a big studio, make sure everything was mastered right and everything. So I was like, this was something for people to actually could listen to in the car and it have that quality. So I had to do it.
Okay. So if I'm correct, I heard this is it's a trilogy, it's a collection. So what's the you got a third one coming? What's the third one called?
The third one, you know, that's practice. You know, practice makes perfect, they say. So we gonna see.
What Nipsey say? Constant repetition is the path to progression.
Of course, you know it.
So when should we be expecting that, man? I'm waiting. Is it gonna be like the marathon? Is it gonna be the victory lap? We're gonna have to wait 3 years? What's the date?
Nah, I ain't gonna make y'all wait 3 years. Probably it might be something like in the middle of 2014, you know, the summertime.
Okay.
Just so people can have something to vibe out to in the summer, you know, have fun. Tank top music.
Tank top music for the summer ladies.
Yeah, you know.
All right, man. One thing. Let's get back to tryouts. So I noticed you said that you released it on your nephew's birthday, Kingston, right?
Yep.
So what's the meaning behind the title? What's the meaning behind the date? What's the meaning behind the title?
Well, the title tryouts is like, okay, so when you play basketball or pretty much any sport, you go through conditioning first, and conditioning you just running around, seeing if you can make the test, I guess you could call it, make the test, and then once you make that first test, you got to go through tryouts, and then tryouts, you get to show your skill set, and you get to let them know, oh, I got the best crossover, I got the best jump shot, or I'm the best running back, I got the most vision, or whatever that is, and then, you know, after tryouts, if you make it through tryouts, then you go to practice, so it's like, you know, it's a progression type thing.
So I feel like I went to high school with you, so you played basketball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still got that love for basketball then?
Oh yeah, always. I wasn't in love with it. I love it, but I'm just not in love with it.
So, but you're in love with music?
Oh yeah, of course.
So I feel like it's some type of parallel. So what's the parallels between basketball and the rap game, or maybe basketball as a sport and the rap game as an art? What's the parallels between the two?
I'd say basketball and music is pretty much the same thing. It's just different. You have different uniforms, different courts, and your basketball is different. Instead of having an actual basketball, you got a mic, and that's what you dribble with and get out set your plays and all that. And just both things, you got to use your mental skills more than anything. Like the physical is just, it's what happens, but you got to think of it first through your head and make sure, you know, everything is straight to make sure that play on the court is A1.
So you say it's like a different court. So I want to say, in the rap game, as a parallel, what position are you? Point guard, power forward. What position are you? Man?
I'm always gonna be a point guard. That's just because the point guard you lead the team. They set the plays. You know, the coach talk to the point guard first before anybody else, because the point guard is actually the coach on the floor. What the coach can do, that's the point guard job. So it's, you know.
Okay, man.
Natural ability is point guard skills.
So I noticed when I first listened to Conditioning, right? Conditioning. When I first listened to Conditioning, you were still in high school at the time, right?
Yep.
You were still in high school at the time. Shout out Jesse Bethel, you know, class of 2012. 13. So I remember. It was a time where a lot of people was basically becoming rappers and stuff. And I remember I was on Twitter. No longer on, but I was on Twitter, and then he was like, hey, listen to my music, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna listen to it. So I listened to it, and then I'm sitting down, and I'm like, man, I hear what he's saying, but something is wrong with his flow. Like, I felt like I felt almost like it was like you were. I can tell like some of your inspiration came from like Wale. I would say, would you agree?
Yeah, Wale and Currency, not too much Currency, but at the time I let Condition out, I was just listening to all Wale stuff. So I
heard it, and I heard that she was trying to be like a poet or something. And I was like, man, this not. I was like, I see what he's trying to do, but I was like, he not ready yet. That's the first thing I thought, like, he not ready yet. He not ready. And then that's when I was like, I heard about you. And then when I heard tryouts, I was like, damn. I was like, damn, this dude came back. And I was, what was the separation between the two? It was a couple of years, wasn't it? Was it like 1 year, 2?
It actually, it was actually a couple of months, but it like Conditioning was February 4th, I want to say, of this year. Okay. So like as soon as I was finished with that, I just started learning how to make my own beats and just creating. And the whole time from the first mixtape, like the end of the first mixtape, I instantly got into the second one and just started creating, and yeah, I had to let it out.
So one thing I wanted to actually commend you on and acknowledge you was between those two mixtapes, I thought it was a year, so it was only a couple months, and you made such rapid growth in between that time. Because the next time I heard your voice, I was like, well, shit. I was like, this dude just did it. You know, this dude, he got me. I'm listening to him now. Like, I'm really listening to you now. Yeah. And one thing, when I noticed the rapid growth, also in your lyrics, in your concepts, it was also rapid growth in your flow. And one thing I want to know, what was the process to get you to that flow where it's like, all right, I'm comfortable, I can spit, and this is how I'm going to spit, this is how I'm rocking to the beat?
Well, really, it was pretty much more me making my own beats, because, like, I mean, somebody like Dr. Dre can make me a beat, and I can rap on a Dr. Dre beat, but it might not be that flow that I'm looking for. It might be a Dr. Dre type of flow on a Dr. Dre type beat. But when you get to making your own beats and just certain things, like, oh, I can take that out right now because I'm making it, so you like, oh, and you hear that, and certain beat patterns and drum patterns just make you, oh, I can just switch up my flow every time, or whatever the case may be, and it just, like, it helps. When you make your own beats, I say it helps you progress as a rapper, per se.
Okay. So, I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit in the interview, where I remember in high school you were a sneakerhead, right?
Oh, yeah.
So is there parallels between the sneaker game and the rap game?
Well, yeah, because it's all hip hop. So I mean, the sneaker culture and music culture is like, it goes hand in hand. So I mean, it's always gonna be sneaker, hip hop culture, music. It's always gonna be together.
So I heard that now I remember you used to have a lot of shoes, G. I heard that you sold all your shoes to buy equipment.
Oh yeah,
and practice your craft. Tell me about that.
Well, it was me and my brother Daniel, shout out Dan Johnson. But we was just sitting there talking one day, and I was like, well, I'm thinking I didn't have a job at the time, I wasn't working. I'm like, how can I get some more studio equipment so I could make tryouts? And I looked in my closet, and we both came up with the idea. It's the shoes. So one day we just decided to grab all our shoes. We didn't like the most expensive ones that we had, and we just took a trip to the shoe store, and we took all our shoes back and got cash. And he went to I'm not sure the name of the store, but he bought baseball equipment, and I went to a Guitar Center and got me a mic, keyboard, beat machine, and all that stuff. So I was like, it's time to leave the material things behind and be able to create things so people could feel better and listen. Because I mean, you could buy $250 pair of shoes, but it might not make the next person feel better. But you can make music, and it can make 10 people feel better. So it's like, you know, I just looked at it for the bigger picture instead of just having no shoes at the time.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That's nice. What would you say about today's age and material things? I heard you mention material. You think we're a lot more materialistic, where it's like, oh, I want to get these new Gamma Jordans, and I'm gonna beat your ass for them and things like that. Excuse me, language. I'm gonna beat you up for it and things like that. Do you think it's we're more materialistic? We're not really into the soul anymore?
Yes, I mean, honestly, materialistic is taking over, unfortunately. But I mean, that's just revolution. You know, life changes, then new things come in trend. So I mean, but the materialistic, that is, people just is taking it overboard. Like, they rather go camp out all this time for these shoes. I mean, I respect the people that are doing it and making an actual profit off of it, but some people are just camping out all night just to get the shoes to wear them and say, oh yeah, I have these new Jordans on with the new Jordan sweatsuit, or I have the Gucci or whatever that is, but they not thinking of it as, okay, maybe I could go and learn about the Gucci and stuff like that and go actually make me something that is on an equal level of Gucci or whatever, and I can make money off of it instead of going pay my last money or money my mom gave me or whatever the case is to go buy it and actually try and make it. That's how I feel. Cut the music up. Cut the music up. Junior be going hard and they don't do enough. Just small thinking large. They just trying to follow stars. I'd rather watch the stars and think of bars to make you drop your jaws. Pause, wait. Not a second of silence for the ones coming to hate. Not interested in being famous, just trying to become a great. These babies be having mothers and fathers with no place. Only instinct for mama, make sure that baby straight. She ain't got no love for the judge or DEA. On lockdown, no visitors and no dates. Bills on the counter, baby need food on his plate. Who gonna pay?